Live, because they're filmed, she would have watched Treasure being born. It's one of her last yearlings that have gone through. So it's very much a family thing, this. It's a real treasure.
So we are set for the third classic of the season. It's on the way. Will it be an 11th Betfred Oaks attack? Or might we see a rare treasure? A first Royal Oaks winner since 1977.
Tell you what, I normally come to the paddock ahead of the Oaks and expect to see a whole load of fillies trained by Aidan O'Brien. Well, this year it feels a little bit different because you come here and there were 4 in a row walking around, all with Rafe Beckett sheets on. He's got 4 representatives here, and I saw him coming out of the weighing room carrying one saddle, and I said, oh, so which one are you saddling up? And he said, well, that'll be Treasure, who is the runner here for His Majesty the King and the Queen, and they're having a little chat here. She's a lovely, big, strong, grave filly. The first one of the Beckett gang is being saddled up just behind us, so Seaward here has headed out. She's saddled. She's also quite warm. She's quite small. She's quite well put together of the 4 Beckett fillies. I wouldn't be surprised to see her going out in front tactically. I think You Got To Me, who was the leader in the Lingfield trial, who went out hard in front. I think they're going to try and take a bit of a sit with her, and then the other 2 probably sit a little bit further back. So here they are. I think this is You Got To Me. It's confusing when they haven't got numbers on them yet. She'll be the next one to be saddled. This is Forest Fairy here, who I know Adele fancies. She's by Valgeist, Arc winner Valgeist. She looks actually quite a lot like him. And this is Treasure. She's a big girl, and connections have said that they're very happy with the rain that's come recently for her. She ran in that Lingfield trial as well, and she finished 4th. It was a decent enough run, but what really made up their minds about coming to Epsom was the fact that she did a good piece of work at home on Saturday. She's a real rangy type, isn't she? And I think she's got a little bit to prove, a bit of improving to do, but it's fascinating to see how she will get on. Okay, up here he's got 4 to do in total, but what's interesting here is that there's a bit of a lack of horses in the paddock. I'm wondering maybe if the Aidan O'Brien fillies aren't here yet, maybe they're going to be saddled down in the stables, but Aidan is here. He's being interviewed in the paddock. There we've got Caught You Looking. She is the representative from the Noel Mead stable, first runner for him in the Oaks, and on form she's got a bit to do. She was 4th to Ezalia, who she reopposes today last time out, but she was a Group 3 winner at 2, and she's got a bit of length about her. She's nice and relaxed. As Seaward is the only one that's getting warm here. She's got the earplugs in, so she's obviously a bit of a buzzy filly. Who have we got here? Red Hood on number 12. This is You Got To Me, so Rafe Beckett has finished saddling her, and I don't really know what to make of the trial that she won at Lingfield, because she jumped out and was straight into Hector Croucher's hands, and she took him on a bit, and she went what seemed to be quite a fair clip because all the others behind her weren't really laid up. Yet it was a much slower time than the trial for the colts on the day. So having visually looked like she went very hard and just managed to hold on, I'm not sure that they did really go that quick. Will she go prominent today? I think with the ring bit on, the cross noseband, the hood, I think they're just going to try and keep that energy contained for a little bit longer today. But it was 2019 when Anna Perner last did the double of the Lingfield trial and the Oaks, so she's in consideration. And yeah, strange, I'm slightly lacking horses. Come back to me in a bit. 1983 Sun Princess and 2018 Forever Together, and that is what this one is going to have to do. Rubies Are Red. She was a good second in that Lingfield trial. She didn't really handle the track that day, but she absolutely flew in the closing stages, and she is really bred for this. She's by Galileo, and she's a sister to Found, who's an absolute star. A lot of people fancy her. And what about the stablemate, Ilang Ilang, here in behind? I'm not sure if the vibes from the stable have been that positive. However, she is the highest rated filly in the field. She was a very, very good 2-year-old. She ran in the Guineas last time out. She finished 5th, and a lot of people thought, well, she's just crying out for further. However, we've heard from Kevin Blake earlier with his analysis of her stride, which suggests that she doesn't want the extra half a mile of the trip today. So, a bit of a head scratcher, but there's a lot of quality about this daughter of Frankel. And on pedigree, I think she should really get the trip. Now they are still yet to be saddled, the Aidan O'Brien fillies, and we can go back and find out more from that. Secret Satire we have here. This is the Andrew Balding runner. She was the winner of the Musadora at York, which is traditionally a very, very good trial for the Oaks. But it was interesting, that race, because to me they didn't go that fast and they finished quite quickly, which meant that she was able to use her good turn of foot in the closing stages. On Kevin's stride analysis, she was a red, meaning that she didn't seemingly have the right attributes for stepping up to a mile and a half. Her dam, her mum, Secret Pursuit, was second in the Cheshire Oaks, which is by Lorman. So a little bit of a stamina influence there, but she's lovely looking, beautifully presented here as well. Look at those plaques, and she's got her name over her hindquarters. If this turns into a bit of a sit and sprint, then she's going to be right in the mix. She's Andrew Balding last trained the winner of this race in 2003. Number 5 is Making Dreams. Carl Burke trains. They're really in form, aren't they? She was a winner of a French Group 3 on heavy ground, and she was well beaten in the Group 2 next time. What she has really got on her side is experience. This is her 13th start, and she won't mind the softer conditions.
Weld has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. You can all sit at home and get ready. As a liar, Dermot. It's been a long time since Blue Wind in, what was it, 1981?
Yeah, it was, but we've only had a few runners. Tar Fashion nearly won it for us here a couple of years ago. She was second to Targaruda. You know, this...
Not particularly big, but she's well put together, and I think she'll handle the undulations of Epsom. She was impressive, I thought, when she won her trial in the Group 3 Salsaville Stakes last time. Actually, I caught you looking in fourth behind her that day, and she showed a really good turn of foot, and she is, but I think she's bred to stay, because her mum, Azira, is from the family of Estimate, who was a winner of the Gold Cup at Ascot. The sire is Dubawi, who surprisingly, despite the fact that he is a phenomenal sire, hasn't yet sired the winner of an Epsom Classic. 15 representatives, 8 of them that went off at single figure odds. Could she be the first daughter or son of Dubawi to change that? She looks a little bit kind of dull in the coat, and she looks a bit on the small side, if I'm honest, and she was on paper my selection. I'd like to see, let's have a look, the sheet's going to come off here, let's have a better look at her. Honestly, there's not a huge amount of her, but what she's been able to do so far has been impressive.
The late Queen won the Oaks in 1957 with Carrozza and in 1977 with Dunfermline. Could we see another little piece of history in a few moments' time? Otherwise, I won't see you after. Yalang. For Messrs Magna, Tabor, Smith, Brandon, Vestenberg, Ryan Moore looking for a 5th Oaks, Aidan O'Brien looking for a 10th. The parade about to begin. This is Making Dreams, a real pocket rocket, having her 12th race. Clifford Lee riding for the informed Carl Burke. Tatsumi Yoshida colours, having her first Epsom runner on the Japanese 1,000 guineas. We pick up Forest Fairy, who won the Cheshire Oaks, looking to do the double enabled in 2017. Ross O'Ryan having a second ride. Rafe Beckett with 4 runners looking for a 3rd Oaks. Will we see a fairy story from Forest Fairy? Here comes Azalea, won the Salsaville Stakes at Navan. But Dermot Weld has won 24 English and Irish Classics. Chris Hayes rides. Here's the Royal Runner. We saw James Doyle riding for Rafe Beckett. That's Treasure. Horse number 7 is Seaward, who was 3rd in the Cheshire Oaks. For Sylvester de Souza riding, who won the 1,000 guineas, another for Rafe Beckett. Next in line, horse number 10 is War Chimes. We've heard from David Manoussier, Tom Marquand having his 2nd ride, looking to add to his St Ledger win. Horses run mainly in France. Here is Secret Satire, who looks really well. The Musadora winner, the real queen of the Oaks trials, looking to do what Soul Sister did last year, doing the Musadora Oaks double. For Andrew Balding, who won this 21 years ago with Casual Look, Oisin Murphy having his 5th ride. Here's horse number 1, Caught You Looking. Kevin Blake's fancy, looking to be the 16th Irish filly to win the Oaks. was fourth to Dermot Wells' filly at Navan. Kevin thinks they can turn it round. Colin Keane having a second ride for trainer Noel Mead. Here's the Godolphin runner who's been very well back, Dance Sequence. Second in the Nell Gwyn, ninth in the Guineas. William Buick riding for Charlie Appleby. Horse number 6, another for Ballydoyle, Ruby's a Red, who flew home at Lingfield. Will she come down the hill? Wayne Lorden riding for Aidan O'Brien. Here's Yalang Yalang, another for Aidan. Ryan Moore rides, having a 16th ride in the Oaks. 5th in the 1,000 Guineas, the only Group 1 winner in the field, the Fillies Mile heroine from last season. The last horse in the parade is the 4th filly for Rafe Beckett. You Got To Me, who won the Lingfield Oaks trial. Anna Perner did the double in 2019. Hector Crouch has his first ride in the Oaks. To post. Last minute instructions for Ryan Moore. Jason, you're a big Yalang Yalang fan, aren't you?
I am. The way we often talk about the 1,000 Guineas being the best trial for this particular race, and the way that she
between Forest Fairy and Secret Satire. Secret Satire, I absolutely love her as a physical. I think she's really well developed for her age, nice and strong, holds a lot of top line. But I really quite like Forest Fairy. I like the fact that she's looks well balanced. She won round Wolverhampton and Chester, so you need to be well balanced to win round there. She stays the trip. I think she's very, very genuine. I think she's got a heart of gold. Even though she was inexperienced going into Chester, only having won on the all-weather, there was times where she looked a little bit timid in the race, but I just like the way that when she was asked to go and win a race, once the gap opened up, she did. She's still in...
definitely going to travel, so you just are able to help them a little bit more on the way round. Obviously, when you come off the bridle, it'll be a big test.
In the market at the moment, Strong, You Got To Me, Dark Sequence, who you talked about there, Jason, and Yalang Yalang. They're strong. The two who are friendless at the minute are Dermot Wells, filly, Azalea, and Ruby's a Red, who's out to sort of 12 and 13 on the exchanges. 9 to 1 there. Yalang Yalang very strong, 11 to 8. Azalea weak at 7. Dance Sequence strong into 15 to 2. Forest Fairy fairly solid at 8. You Got To Me's popular at 17 to 2. You just wonder, Adele, Secret Satire could be a big price at 16 to 1. The Musador is always a reliable guy.
Well, that's the thing, that there's just... I can't really find that many negatives about her. I always kind of sat on the fence with her.
Ferry brings in the 100% record, and probably the team weren't in form when she managed to win, where on the all-weather early on in the season, and stepped up dramatically for the Chester victory.
Number 5, Adele, Carl Burke has what you describe as a pocket rocket.
Yeah, I rode her out last week, actually, and she travelled really nicely up the gallops. She's a huge outsider, but wouldn't it be great for Carl Burke if he had a treble today and he ended up winning another classic?
He's on a roll. Number 6, Francesco, Ruby's a Red. We'll keep an eye on her coming down the hill.
Very much a pedigree for the Oaks by Galileo, an assistant to Found. She was second in the Lingfield Oaks trial. Look Here was the last filly that did that and then came to win at Epsom. Unfriendly in the market.
We'll do the next 6 in a moment. How are they looking down there, Mick?
Yeah, looking pretty good. You can just see Secret Satire just in front of me now. I just want to point you towards Sylvester de Souza, rides horse number 7, Seaward. You see, just sticking out of her ear, you can see those earplugs. They've just pulled them out. There's actually 3 horses with earplugs in down here at the start. 2 of them are being taken out. The earplugs in Seaward and You Got To Me, both coming out. But Azalea, she will race with earplugs in.
God save our gracious King, long live our noble King, God save the King, set him victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King.
And well done to the youngsters, Edward and Helene. That was some effort. With just 3 to come forward for the Classic. Dance Sequence and Will Buick move forward. On the far side, You Got To Me, then it'll be the favourite and Forest Fairy. 11 to 8 the field. Richard.
Been getting a little bit upset in the starting stalls. Ylang 11 to 8 just before the off. Last one forward will be Forest Fairy. For this contest, the Betfred Oaks over a mile and a half, and the 12 fillies are all set. And they're off. Making Dreams was the first one to break the line as they climb uphill early. Seaward going forward and moving forward as well. Secret Satire in the noseband. Treasure the Royal Filly on the outside of War Chimes, who's a little bit short of room there, taken back on the heels of You've Got To Be, who at this stage is being ridden more conservatively. Dance Sequence and Caught You Looking are the next pair as they climb the hill. Yilang is settled right at the back with Rubies Are Red, stable companion. Esalia is just ahead of that in the green colours as Making Dreams under Clifford Lee leads the climb through the first 2 furlongs. Seaward races in second, the Grey Treasure in third with Secret Satire in the noseband. Then towards the inside is Caught You Looking as they now, having cut the corner, make their way up towards the inside running rail. It's Making Dreams who will arrive there first. Making Dreams leads by just over a length. Seaward in second, and racing in third is Treasure on the outside of Caught You Looking and Secret Satire. You Got To Me is posted 3 wide at the moment in midfield. Esalia getting a little closer as Making Dreams' advantage grows to 3 lengths. Forest Fairy comes next. Dance Sequence is 3 from the back. Rubies Are Red, and Yilang is stone last at the moment as Making Dreams makes the turn and has injected a little bit of pace here. 4 to 5 lengths is the gap, and at the moment they're ignoring the outsider. In second place is Seaward, Treasure poised in third, then on the inside Caught You Looking of You Got To Me, and then Secret Satire has just dropped back in the field to 6th place. Esalia on the outside in the green colours, just ahead of Forest Fairy. War Chimes, Rubies Are Red and Dance Sequence the next wave, and Yilang is last of all as the runners now make the turn downhill and head towards Tattenham Corner. Making Dreams' advantage has been whittled away to just a length by Seaward in second. Treasure every chance from there in third on the outside of Caught You Looking. You Got To Be shaken up, Secret Satire, Forest Fairy. War Chimes trying to manoeuvre on the outside of Esalia, who also angles out off the bend in the green colours at this stage. Yilang and Dance Sequence along with Rubies Are Red are last of all. It's now where You Got To Me on the outside and Caught You Looking up the inner come to join Making Dreams and Seaward. Backpedaling now is Treasure as Esalia on the outside is improving in stylish fashion. You Got To Me, Dance Sequence in the blue. Esalia, then War Chimes towards the outside. Yilang staying on but still with work to do. It's Dance Sequence on the inside and Esalia. These two stretch away in the Oaks. On the inside, Dance Sequence and William Buick. Esalia and Chris Hayes on the outside strikes the lead. War Chimes back in third place. Esalia just hanging slightly on the camber, but it's beginning to pull away. Dance Sequence in second. War Chimes an honourable third, but it's the Aga Khan colours who win the Oaks. Esalia, Chris Hayes and Dermot Weld. Dance Sequence, War Chimes, You Got To Me. Caught You Looking, Yilang in 6th place. Then behind these Forest Fairy, they're well strung out. Making Dreams, Rubies Are Red, Secret Satire. No success for the Royal Runner Treasure, who only beats 1 home. Esalia, only a 4th racecourse start. Improved travelling really well and is a decisive winner of the race. Hung down the camber slightly, but was putting daylight between herself and Dance Sequence, who came from out the pack to give chase. A big run by War Chimes for David Monissier and Tom Marquand in third place, but no doubting the winner. Esalia Dubawi may have the winner of the Derby tomorrow. Today, he's had the winner of the Oaks.
And for Dubawi, after 15 attempts in the 2 Epsom Classics, he's just had the 1-2 in the Betfred Oaks. Right, turning for home, the favourite last at this point, back left, Jason, and just look at Chris Hayes with a double handful on the winner.
Yeah, motionless, never had any sort of interrupted moment throughout the race. Will Buick has gone and committed down on the inside, and for all the world, he looked as if he had the race, but watch her all over the place yet again, proving really, really difficult.
We said it about her a few times. She's so hard, isn't she? She'll organise her when she comes off the bridle, and William had to put his stick back down. He tried to gather her momentum, but she just ends up hanging over to the rail. Her leg is basically in every county, as they're saying, we say in racing. I can't wait to actually see her on a more flatter galloping track. That's when you'll see her at her best.
Big celebration from Chris Hayes on only his 2nd ride in the race. That meant something. This filly, you could see in the closing stages, her up against Dance Sequence. She's small, she is agile, She is clearly talented, having won her trial coming into this race. She was able beautifully, and she has, who is a very excited winner of the Oaks.
On Tahira, he's an Irish 1,000 guineas winning jockey as well. Chris, the last time Dermot Weld won the Oaks, you weren't even born for another 6 years.
Yeah, there was Lester Pickett that rode it, and I'm no Lester Pickett. She's a, look at her, she's a queen. Very professional, strong travelling filly. Like, she's gorgeous, real pretty, delicate filly to look at. She done everything right, not a step did she take wrong. I just wanted to keep momentum on her and angle her out at the top of the straight. That in turn, she just leapt onto the bridle again, just rolled forward, and I knew she'd stay, I knew she'd class, and brilliant.
Chris, your career has been...
I'm riding for some brilliant owners on some lovely pedigrees. It's a dream come true.
Well, if you're Del Boy, I'll be your Rodney. Well done.
And there he is celebrating for the photographer. When he was with Kevin Prendergast, actually, and I hope Kevin's watching this, he will be a very proud man. And that kiss is partly for you, Kevin. And what a celebration that was as he passed the post.
You remember? What about the trainer, Dermot Weld? His last
this?
one, yeah, that is what it means. She is some little pocket rocket, this one. Dermot Weld last won the race in 1981 with Blue Wind. I mean, that was before I was born. What a career of longevity, and now winning another race. Unbelievable.
Colours of the Aga Khan, 2016 Derby winning colours. Dermot Weld, 43 years on from Blue Wind. Ran a huge race, as the money suggested she might, at 7-1. War Chimes ran a huge race in third at 50-1. Huge credit to her and the Tars Farm Equestrian star David Manoussier and Tom Marquand. What happened to Yelang, Jason?
No, she was never on the bridle with any sort of fluency. I saw Ryan latch onto the back of the pack, but he wasn't even able to get her into some sort of rhythm from some way down. He's done incredibly well towards the outside, but all under sufferance.
It's interesting, she just never ever at any stage of the race looked like she was going to play a part at all. She didn't really take hold of Ryan at all. But take a look at dance sequence. She's all over the place, Francesca. I honestly cannot wait to see her on a flatted track where she really, because she's clearly got a lot of ability. We've seen that. We've seen it when she was a 2-year-old, but you can see her legs are everywhere.
You'd like to see her at a York or Doncaster or somewhere flat galloping track.
I absolutely agree.
The team around the horse here led up today the winner by Carlos Atias Vera, and in amongst there is Waka O'Brien, who has been with Dermot Weld for decades. He might have even been here when Blue Wind won, and a couple of his boys are in amongst it. Not a bad way to strike back by winning another classic.
No, absolutely not. I mean, he does.
Standing here with your two sons, Mark and Chris, and the connections, it must be a very, very touching moment for you.
Yeah, it's a very special day. You know what I mean? The competition is very keen nowadays. And we're very fortunate to have a filly for His Highness as good as this. She won't kick, don't worry. She's a beautiful mannered animal. And she's a beautiful filly to train. You know, patience has paid dividends with her. We took her time with her as a 2-year-old. Just gave her one run this year when she won nicely at Navan. I just said to Chris, ride a similar race on her, ride it with confidence. Take your time, get her into a rhythm, which we like to get horses into before you let her go.